Okay, name, what you do,
Brian Waldron,
spell it.
BryanWaldron, business development for Bedrock Real Estate Services.
Okay, why are we here today?
Celebrate UBS, a financial entity being one of the first to hit the market and come back to Detroit in the last 30, 35 years, which is a very significant, to have UBS, a financial institution for managing money is huge as far as the continued growth and evolution of what's happening in Detroit on the business side.
How were you able to lure them into Detroit?
You know what? I don't think we have to do much luring anymore. I think that happened. I think we were, it's one of those things, you go uphill for so long and you get to the top of the hill and things kind of become a little bit easier because information is easily processed now. It's readily available. So some things, people consider things a hidden gem, but any company that's really cutting edge and does their research understands what's happening in Detroit. So companies like UBS, companies like Coyote Logistics, Google, all these major companies, they understand and they see. So you'll see more and more continuing down the pipeline.
So what you're telling me is Detroit is like a beacon, a shining light.
Oh, definitely.
The glitter that everybody wants to get to?
Definitely. I think that we're in a unique situation because Detroit, obviously the historical significance of the city itself, everybody knows what Detroit was at one time and how important it was to America. I mean, you look at Detroit, we are the home and the birthplace of, essentially it's the home and the birthplace of the, I guess, middle class, right? I mean, essentially it's the birthplace, right? So at this point now, I think that enough people understand where it's headed and the significance of the city to say a once proud city is back to becoming an emerging market, right? Because you have these emerging markets and these pockets of cities in throughout the country that were once maybe not forgotten but overlooked, and that's no longer holds to be true.
Great. All right, Brian. That was great.
Thanks, John. Thank you, John, and good evening, everyone. It is really great to be here. It's great to see this space in a very different condition from when we first walked through it about 18 months ago. I'd especially like to welcome all of our clients that we have here in the room. We really do appreciate the trust and the confidence that you place in UBS and also in your financial advisor. I'd also like to, in addition to the recognition that John gave to both the mayor and to Dan, I'd also like to really express a special welcome to all the partners from the various nonprofit organizations in and around Detroit. To all of you, we're really grateful for your leadership and your courage in helping us to restore and be a part of the reinvigoration of this great city of yours. And I'd really like to thank John's hiding there. I would say that his personal vision and courage, I've told a number of people tonight, all he kept saying to me whenever we walked around the city and the Bedrock team was showing us around, every time we'd walk out, he'd say, "I just want to be on Woodward." So I sort of got the point. A few weeks ago, John shared a post on his LinkedIn page about this office. He had popped a photo off on his iPhone and posted it. And he uploaded a photo and he posted a quote. "On Monday, we'll be opening our new UBS office in Detroit, the first wealth management firm to move back to downtown in nearly a decade. I couldn't be more excited or more proud to be a part of the revitalization of the city where I was born." Now, within a short amount of time, that post went practically viral. When I last checked, roughly 120,000 people had viewed the post, over 1,100 had liked it, and 120 people had left comments or notes of congratulations. For those of you who know LinkedIn, and also for those of you who are not, I will tell you, those are some pretty impressive numbers in terms of views. And Of course, we assigned our corporate social media team to try to figure out, what did he do? Why isn't everything else that good? And it was hard for them to determine exactly what it was. But what we really think it is, as anyone who's spent any time in this city would guess, it has to do with the excitement, the emotion, and the support of the people in the city of Detroit and in Michigan. I spend a great amount of time traveling, as John noted. There are very few cities that I've seen anywhere in the world that project the kind of spirit that we see here in Detroit. Yes. There we go. And we're honored to be a part of this, to be a part of the urban renaissance here in Detroit. We've opened the new office, we reestablished our presence here in downtown, and as John said, we're here to stay. Now, this office represents the latest chapter for us in a long history of supporting the local community, and it gives us a platform, as John had said, to play an even bigger part in Detroit's remarkable turnaround. Over the past few years, we've been able to leverage our passion for driving more inclusive entrepreneurship and increasing educational access to help improve the lives of the people in the city. Through our support for Venture for America, and an organization with which many of you are familiar, we've been investing in the next generation of entrepreneurs here in Detroit and across the U.S. In addition, in the months to come, Detroit is going to be a key pilot market for us in a new program from UBS and EverFi, a leading educational technology company. Keys to the Future, Keys to Your Future, is a first-of-its-kind program that will create a personalized digital curriculum to prepare students across the city for life after high school, to equip them with critical college and career readiness skills that they'll need to succeed. And then, of course, there's this office itself. From the outset, we've been committed to designing an office that reflects and feeds off the energy of this vibrant community. That's why John and his team, along with our terrific partners at Bedrock and Barton Mallow, have designed and designated this space to be available for use by local nonprofit organizations. These spaces are just one more way that we're demonstrating our commitment to Detroit's civic community, including many of you, and to make an even greater impact on this city's people and its neighborhood. So once again, thank you for taking the time to join us here this evening to celebrate this milestone. Now, it's now my great honor to hand things over to a man who needs no introduction at all here in Detroit. Whether it's through his leadership of Quicken Loans, Rock Ventures, Bedrock, or any of the dozens of other companies in his portfolio, Dan Gilbert is truly among those who are spearheading Detroit's reinvention for the 21st century. Just as he's been for many of you, Dan's been a great partner to UBS as we execute our plans to grow our presence downtown, and it's a real...
Quick, and I'll get it out. Yeah, we're going to be quick.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, here we go again. We've got another great building coming in. We've got another great building coming in. Tell us what you think.
This is UBS's Detroit office. UBS is a global wealth management investment banking company, and for them to put 11,000 feet downtown Detroit and invest in the community like they're going to be, that's just a win for everybody, and very, very exciting. They did a great job with their offices here. So.
Okay. Now, is this part of the Bedrock complex here? Or?
This is we do. Bedrock owns the building, but we have nothing to do with UPS. That's a big company there. But and there's several other great tenants in these buildings here, and a lot of demand. We're almost done leasing, outside of, including the retail and the office. So that's exciting. Just keep more people, the better.
Very good.
So
thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Always good to see you. Good. So, what do you think? Here we go.
Yeah, it's good to see another company that left Detroit during the recession of 2008 come back to Detroit in 2019, and it's a story we're hearing over and over.
Now, how many times are you going to be making these announcements?
Well, we got another one coming tomorrow, so we got a lot going.
Okay. And how does this fit into the overall picture of the future of the city? What do you think?
There was a time when the banks and the wealth management companies all wanted to be in the suburbs because they thought that was where the financial future of the region was. And now, of course, just a couple months ago, Chemical Bank announced they're building a 20-story headquarters. Now you have UBS reopened in the city. It's an indication that Detroit is starting to anchor Michigan's comeback, and that's exciting for everybody.
The city's on a fast track. Could you have imagined this happening?
You know, it's faster. In fact, you know, I laugh. I drive down the street and I see a crane in the air, and I said, I don't know what that project is. You know, there was a time if somebody opened a Coney Island in this town, everybody was there. So it's very exciting, and we just got to keep it going.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you, man.
Always good to see you.
All right.
All righty. All right, we're good.